Hey, what is up, guys? It is your boy Speed here, and today Valve has put out a new patch. We got 7.29C here today, couple item changes, bunch of hero changes. Let's break it down and talk about what is important to know, what you need to know, so yeah, you don't miss out and get caught off guard in your pubs. And I'd also like to let you guys know that I just made a full-length replay review of a Terrorblade game I played over on the GameLeap website. It's not gonna come to YouTube, so if you're interested in content like that, really, you guys know I try to give you the best information, and I do really believe in GameLeap, especially the videos I've been making as of late are very high quality, in-depth, educational content that, you know, it's a lot of fun to watch, and it's gonna help you get to the next level. It's gonna help you gain rank. All right, let's get into the video. All right, so getting into it, we have the general changes. They nerfed the HP of water runes, so you get less HP from water runes by 20. I think this makes sense. Water runes, it's just like, I don't know, man. I've tried multiple times this patch to solo kill people mid, to pressure people mid, and my god, it's annoying. Like, I get them to half HP or a fourth HP, they're about in solo kill range, and all of a sudden, they get like 8 bottle charges from minute 2 to minute 3. And so yeah, I mean, this doesn't really change that much, I'll be real with you. Like, the whole bottle meta is not gonna change because of this, but I guess it's a step in what I think is the right direction. Next, we have item changes. Solar Crest attack speed bonus reduced by 10. I still think this item is extremely good. Movement speed, attack speed, armor. Still just a ridiculously good item. And really, the biggest thing about this item is the build-up. Just, I mean, the build-up is just so good. You know, a medallion, a crown, a Winley's, like, come on. It's such easy build-up. It's such valuable build-up, you know? And so, just such a good item to buy. Really it is. Then, Ring of Bassi, self-mana regen bonus reduced from 0.6 to 0.5. Okay, that doesn't seem like the end of the world. Now, we got Sanchez, the item that for some reason wasn't really nerfed last patch. Or going back at it, the reach and amplification reduced from 30% to 25%, and same thing. So they're basically nerfing the upgraded Sange items. I think this makes sense, considering Sange is definitely like the best item in the patch, besides like Solar Crest. I kind of mean that. Most heroes like buy Sange at some point. Like, honestly, just look at some pro games. There's a lot of Sanges. And yeah, this was a big component of it, the regen and the lifesteal amp. It just works so well with carries and tanks. So yeah, I think this makes sense. Does it make the item unusable? Absolutely not. It's still a super good item. Sentry Ward. Stock replenish time reduced from 85 to 75. You know, it's really funny now. This is a bit of a side note, guys, but if you're playing a core, you should be buying sentries if you know where rewards are. For instance, I was playing a Slark game not too long ago, and I actually made quite a bit of gold from NXP from dewarding. Because it's only 50 gold and wards give like 130, 150, and a bunch of XP. It's actually quite efficient to deward. Obviously, as long as you know where stuff is. And so, yeah, just keep that in mind for your games. And this is nice for supports. It's gonna be a lot more dewards, obviously, because of this. 10 seconds replenish time is a ton. So, yeah, I think it's gonna be harder and harder to keep wards up. It already felt pretty hard, considering how many sentries supports can actually buy, but you gotta be sneaky. Right, sentries don't give a lot of vision, but there's a lot of them, and so you gotta be very sneaky. That's the name of the game right now. Don't place like hill wards are gonna get dewarded 100% of the time in this current meta. Go for lane wards, go for sneakier wards, just test things out. Then we got Batrider, nice little change, movement speed. Oh god, it's like the moment this hero falls out of the meta for a second, Valve is just like, yeah, no, it's gotta be good. But I think it's somewhat reasonable considering like in pubs, this hero just like feeds. What I mean by that is, well, actually in all pubs, Batrider kind of just feeds right now. So it didn't need it. It didn't need it. A little bit of movement speed, a little bit of attack range. The attack range is good. Can help you finish off a kill, but most importantly, it allows you to stay in position in the laning stage, right? You don't have to overextend as much, and so this is a nice change to make Bat a lot more survivable and a lot more deadly. Then we have base Mazda. Scepter, as expected, no longer provides bonus damage, so I think we're back to about what it was before this patch, besides the mana cost, but what I will say is, I mean, I don't even know if it's that bad. Like, I still think people should experiment with it, considering the fact that now they gave the Inner Beast a 5 attack speed buff, so that's just straight up better. They buffed the Boar talent, not that you would take it. I think obviously what they're trying to do here is incentivize Beastmaster going like Solar Crest Vlad's Helm Dom type of vibe. But I don't know, I still think you can go like a mix. You can go, instead of full committing to the Axis, you can still use it as like some god tier farming item, which it is. It's still a really good mid-game ability. I mean, there's no denying that this is 0-second cooldown Axis. I mean, it's just strong. Even without this bonus damage, I think it's gonna be a menace. Then we have Broodmother. Apparently this hero's doing pretty well. I don't think I've played against it a single time. That's not true. Maybe once. I played it once. And Scepter no longer unlocks max movement speed, which, why? Was Brood that good? I mean, I did think that Brood was a good hero, I'll be real. I feel like Brood, if people figured out Brood, it was gonna become broken. But now, without this ability to split push, and what I mean by that is the biggest advantage Brood had, in my opinion, was the fact that you were one of the only heroes that could unlock maximum movement speed, right? And yeah, now I think it's almost no heroes. I don't even know if there is a single hero that goes above maximum movement speed now, besides like Bloodseeker, I think. So this is a huge nerf. It's actually massive, considering you'd buy Ags most games. Centaur Warrunner. Hoof Stomp. Cooldown increased, okay. Yeah, so Centaur and Vanguard is like one of the most broken builds. By the way, I still think Axe, I really do believe Axe is next up. I think that hero is mildly insane, if not broken. I really do believe that. I think his shard build is actually kind of nuts. Like buying Manta shard on Axes is actually crazy legit, and they didn't nerf Vanguard, so it's still just a broken item. And yeah, they nerfed Centaur's cooldown on Hoof Stomp, but that's not that bad. You just have to max it over Double Edge, which hurts a little bit. It definitely hurts a little bit. I'll give it that. And then a little bit of HP reach nerf on the talent, but who cares? Who cares? I'll be real. Just still pick Centaur. Still broken. Dawnbreaker. Agility reduced. Oh my. By a lot. 6 agility. That is 6 less attack speed, 1 less armor, and 0.7 at all levels on agility gain. That is... They really don't want you to auto-attack. I think this kind of leans, makes me feel like it's more of a nuker, right? Mana cost increased from 110 to 110, 120, 130, 140. Level 10 talent reduced from +8 strength to +7. Anything else? No. So yeah, I think I would consider Dawnbreaker more as a support. Scale's a lot worse, but I don't know. Keep going the Echo Saber build, satanic stuff. I don't think much changed. Just a big nerf. Grimstroke. Definitely one of the more popular supports of the patch. Finally doing okay in pubs. Not great, but okay in terms of win rate. Movement speed bonus reduced from 12, 14, 16, 18 to 10, 12, 14, 16. Okay, that's definitely not the end of the world. That's not much of a change. Stun duration rescaled from 1 to 1.9, 2.8, 3.7 to 1.1, 1. Okay, so it's okay. Down 0.2 seconds. I mean, yeah, in some really niche scenarios, that's going to be the difference. But all in all, that's... definitely not the end of the world. Yeah, definitely not the end of the world. And a bit of a nerf to the Inkswell movement speed, but I don't think people took that anyway. I guess, actually, no, people probably did take that. Supports probably took that. I haven't played too much Grimstroke myself. Nah, but it makes sense that supports would take it. Not core, but yeah, okay. That's a lot of movement speed, actually. That is actually so much movement speed. Jeez, Rick. Hoodwink, Bushwhack, radius increased by 15. That's a big deal. You know, radius is, anytime you see radius, you should always consider it basically a big change. Radius is just a massive deal. Stun duration increased from 1.4, 1.7 to 2.3 to 1.5, 1.8, 2.1 to 2.4, and projectile speed up, so a huge buff to Bushwhack. Absolutely massive. This makes this ability so much better, actually. I definitely expect at least like a 1% increase in win rate just because of this. It's such an integral part of this hero, right? It's, you know, it's just really is massive. Invoker, Wex, attack speed bonus reduced from 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 to what the? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm guessing the movement speed is unchanged, but the attack speed is hard griefed. It is hard griefed. This makes Invoker scale a lot worse as a right clicker. I mean, after all, you're going to lose 3 attack speed at level 1. And then all the way up to losing 21 attack speed, considering you have to keep in mind, it's 3 orbs, right? Potentially, obviously. And so, yeah, that's a huge nerf, especially at max. That's a lot of attack speed, even in the late game, 20 attack speed. It's, you know, it matters for sure. Keeper of the Light, a hero that is definitely untouched. I mentioned in my video how much this hero got nerfed. Illuminate heal increased from 30, 40, 50 to 30, 45, 60. Cooldown reduced from 80, 75, 70 to 70. Okay. Yeah, I think it's like, I don't know, maybe this hero's not that bad, actually. Part of me, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, part of me wants to say this hero's not actually that bad. Does that sound crazy? I don't know. Like, maybe it's not that bad. Kunka, base movement speed increased by 10. Ooh. You guys know how I feel about movement speed increases, especially when it's like 10 or above. You really notice it. It really adds up. I mean, it's like, I don't know, it's just such a big deal. It's like, do you run to the camp faster? Do you run to the mid lane faster? Do you get auto-attacked once less because of it? Do you get to the gank in time? Anything like this, it really matters. Lycan, same thing here. Even though the hero has an ultimate, it doesn't matter. It's going to be a big difference in a lot of scenarios. Just moving from camp to camp, you know? Every little bit counts. A little bit of a buff to the talent too. Okay, do I think Lycan's pickable? I don't know. I don't know when this hero is good yet. I still think it's like outshined by a lot of other like unit heroes such as TB and friends, but I don't know. Magnus, intelligence gain increased from 1.7 to 2.1. Okay. I didn't feel like the hero was that bad, but sure. Monkey King. I definitely thought this hero was bad. Stun duration increased from 0.7, 1.3, 1.6 to 1.2, 1.4, 1.6. So they made the stun quite a bit better at level 1, which I think makes sense. It was so bad at level 1. It was just so bad. Now it's not as bad. Night vision increased. Wow, 200 night vision when you're on trees. That is a lot of night vision. However, they did nerf, I guess to compensate a little bit, they nerfed the level 10 talent, 400 tree dance vision to 50%, which is a nerf here, right? Obviously, you're only gonna get 300 instead of 400 at night. But is that a buff overall? It's still a buff overall though, because even with this change, that's 900 compared to the 800 if you were to take this talent. However, you usually don't take the talent, you take attack speed, so could be good. Maybe they want this hero to be like some sort of support, but its ultimate just can't really be used that way. I mean, like, I don't know. You can, if it's a support, you basically can just ignore it to some extent. Like, I guess Monkey King can buy like oof and be a little bit annoying, but I don't know. I don't know what this. Yeah, maybe you could play it as a support. It's like, I don't know, it's interesting as a 4. I don't think it's good, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Monkey King does still. Morphling, agility gain reduced from 4.3 to 4.1, okay. Shard no longer breaks movement speed limit. Rip. Puck, Coil, cooldown increased from 80, 75, 70 to 80. Alright, definitely not the end of the world. And oh, here's a big one, okay. So you lose potentially 100 damage. Which is a freaking lot, right? You lose 100 damage on the break, right? So your break damage reduced all the way from 300 to 200, from 400 to 300, 500 to 400, and the Scepter is seemingly nerfed as well, right? In tangent with this. So huge nerfs, really big nerfs to Puck's Coil in the early game. Do I think the hero's still good? Absolutely, but I think this is the right direction. Queen of Bane, radius increased on Scream. Okay, that's cool. Remember, radius is always a big deal. And the mana cost was buffed in max. So I do think that max Scream of Pain will generally be the build. And the strength talent was buffed, which I think on average is better. It's 220 HP. It's a freaking lot. It's a lot. You know? It's a really high number. But the damage is not bad. So it kind of just depends on what route you're going. Like Yules or Orchid, you know? Snapfire. Lil Shredder. Mana cost increased from 50, 60, 70, 80. Okay, so they nerfed the mana, like they basically made it worse at max, which kind of hurts. I wouldn't say Snapfire is like the worst of mana problems, but definitely a little bit. And then the biggest one here, definitely a huge nerf, is the buff duration reduced from 8 to 6. Now this implies two different things. Number one, well, it lasts only 6 seconds, okay. That obviously is just not good. And then the second one is if you played it right with Lil Shredder, you could like stack it. I'm not exactly sure how it works, to be honest with you guys. But you could stack the Little Shredder armor reduction. I think it's in particular if you had like cooldown reduction, you could actually get like 12 armor reduction with it or whatever, and it was pretty broken. So I think this is them kind of avoiding that and just making it worse. So I don't know. I'm a little bit suspect of this Little Shredder build. It still does a ton of damage, still reduces armor by a lot, but this hurts for sure. Terrorblade, base strength increased, so he gets 20 attack speed. Okay, wonderful. Bit of attack speed, bit of health. Great, wonderful. And finally, Timbersoft. Flamethrower, shard cooldown increased by 3 seconds. Yeah, Flamethrower is definitely still a must-buy, I think, on this hero. Not necessarily exactly at 20 minutes, but let's say you complete like 2 core items like Hood, Lotus, or Hood Yules. Very often you're going to buy Flamethrower after that. It's just so good. You know, it really is just that good. It does 90 damage per second, which is a huge number, and it slows by 30%. Like, one of Timber's biggest issues is that he can't slow or stun people, right? And like, this is the cheapest form of disable you can buy. And it does 90 damage per second for 7 seconds. What is that, 630 damage? Something stupid like that? I mean, it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous amount of damage. It really, really is. And so even with this cooldown getting nerfed, which I think is smart, I think you still have to buy it. But alright, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one, and good luck in 7.29C. And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the GameLeap website, where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.